cross. Hello. Welcome back again to Education Media YouTube channel. And I'm excited to meet you once again to share my knowledge and insights with you on my recent study experience and also a variety of topics. So sit back, relax and enjoy the content. Without further ado, let's get started. Knowledge of educational framework, curriculum and policies. In this topic we shall to look at knowledge of educational curriculum, framework and policies. Our focus on curriculum framework, 4 pillars of the curriculum framework, cross-cutting issues, new primary curriculum and new TED curriculum. By the end of this discussion, you should be able to 1. Develop knowledge in curriculum framework. 2. Develop knowledge in 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. 3. Develop knowledge in cross-cutting issues. 4. Develop knowledge in new primary school curriculum. Knowledge and curriculum framework. The National Teacher Education Curriculum Framework defines the overarching vision, critical content areas, pedagogy, linkages, and assessment from which teacher education curricula will be developed. It is a tool that allows flexibility and diversity among different training institutions while ensuring consistency and quality in teacher education curriculum through compliance with the defined elements of the curriculum framework. The teacher education curriculum envisaged in this framework is one that is both open and eclectic, embracing different schools of thought and ideas that, together, assist in developing the repertoire of knowledge, skills, attitudes and values that a beginning teacher needs if he or she is to meet the challenges in the school system. Knowledge and curriculum framework. The intention of all these is to develop a teacher who demonstrates attainment of the minimum levels of practice, as set out in the National Teachers' Standards in order to inspire and challenge learners to achieve their potential. Has a secure subject matter knowledge at the level he/she is being prepared to teach at, and at the same time has a good understanding of national educational policies. Demonstrates an ability to integrate his/her curriculum, subject and pedagogical knowledge, and plans for and uses differentiated interactive instructional strategies and resources to improve the learning outcomes of all learners irrespective of gender, disabilities, or geographical location. Knowledge and curriculum framework. Has a good grasp of the content of the textbooks, teachers' guides, syllabi and other resources required by the curriculum at the specific level of training, early childhood, primary, junior secondary school or senior secondary school. Has a good understanding of the learners, their development, their needs and their socio-cultural and political backgrounds, as well as a respect for their rights as human beings. Has a good understanding of their own professional identity, beliefs, emotions, strengths and weaknesses. Exhibits technology and information literacy and is able to integrate technology, including open education resources in his/her teaching. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 1, Subject and curriculum knowledge. Subject and curriculum knowledge represent the combination of subject matter or content knowledge and curriculum knowledge into an understanding of how key concepts of the basic academic disciplines are represented and organized, and how they are applied in the school curriculum, textbooks and in the design and selection of teaching resources. The kind of teacher and teacher education envisioned in the curriculum framework calls on all to perceive teacher education as a holistic enterprise, involving actions of different kinds and from multiple fronts, aimed at the development of the total teacher, a teacher who has developed the appropriate professional values and attitudes, professional knowledge, and professional practice, and is therefore knowledgeable and understanding of educational curriculum and frameworks, having a repertoire of skills for teaching, learning and assessment, and managing a learning environment, with positive attitudes, habits, and values and capacity to reflect. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Expectations of subject and curriculum knowledge. According to the National Teachers' Standards, the pre-service teacher education programs should prepare a teacher who demonstrates familiarity with the education system and key policies guiding it, has comprehensive knowledge of the official school curriculum including learning outcomes, has secure content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge, knows the curriculum for the years appropriate to multi-grade classes, has a good knowledge of how to teach beginning reading and numeracy, and can use at least one Ghanaian language as medium of instruction, takes account of and respects learners' cultural, linguistic, socio-economic and educational backgrounds in their planning and teaching. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 2. Literacy studies, Ghanaian languages and English. Language and education are 2 inseparable concepts because education is disseminated via language. Therefore, the teachers we train should be very competent in both the L1 and L2 so that they can teach children to speak and read these languages and also use the languages to teach other subjects. The questions we need to address are: how do we train teachers to help children to develop literacy competencies that will make them lifelong learners, and how can curriculum be developed to assess the national standards for teacher education to make them competent? The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Expectations of student teachers. For the above questions to be addressed, the prospective teacher should have the following competencies as a result of his/her training: communicate in a language that engages learners, be fluent in a Ghanaian language and English, use the L1 to teach other subjects at the early grade level and L2 as language of instruction from primary 4-JHS 3 with supported transition in P4 so that pupils can hit the ground running. Identify children with literacy problems in both Ghanaian language and English, and provide remediation. Use L1 as springboard for improving L2 learning, especially at the lower primary level. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 3. Pedagogic knowledge. Pedagogic knowledge refers to the specialized cognitive knowledge of teachers for creating effective teaching and learning environments for all learners. Guerrero, S. It is therefore composed of general pedagogical knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge. Pedagogy is described as the instructional techniques and strategies which enable learning to take place. It refers to the interactive process between teacher and learner, and it is also applied to include the provision of some aspects of the learning environment. The term pedagogic knowledge is used throughout the framework as one of the pillars of knowledge. Pedagogic knowledge includes all the required cognitive pedagogical knowledge for creating effective teaching and learning environments. It is therefore composed of general pedagogical knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 3. Pedagogic knowledge. Pedagogical knowledge is the broad principles and strategies of classroom management and organizations that go beyond subject matter. Its purpose is to enable student teachers to understand school subjects through linkages among learners, context, subject discipline and pedagogical approach. It draws together teachers' knowledge of the theories of learning and general principles of instruction, their understanding of the various philosophies of education and how they can support effective teaching, general knowledge about learners, and knowledge of the principles and techniques of classroom management. Teachers therefore need to draw on a range of knowledge and weave it into coherent understanding and skills in order to become competent and to connect content and teaching and assessment in the classroom. PARC does not only depend on the subject matter discipline and methodology used but must take into account the learner and their background and context. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 3. Pedagogic knowledge. In brief, this pillar addresses instructional strategies, introduction to cross-cutting issues, inclusivity, professional values, etc. Assessment to support differentiation and learning, core skills. Barriers to learning. Effective mechanisms for planning. Behavior management strategies. Preparation for supported teaching in school. Implications of learner backgrounds. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 4, supported teaching in school. The supported teaching in school placements are designed to enable student teachers to develop and apply their professional values and attitudes, knowledge and practice so they are competent to teach by the end of their training, and through this, be able to demonstrate they meet the teacher's standards in a manner appropriate to a beginning teacher. The structure of supported teaching in school placements needs to reflect the guidance to the national teachers' standards requiring school practicum components must provide extended guided periods of teaching. In addition, the placements need to be designed to reflect how the 3 domains of the teachers' standards intersect with one another, bringing together what teachers should know, value and be able to do by the end of training. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Pillar 4. Supported teaching in school. The attainment of the teacher's standards through supported teaching in school placements depends, among others, on the availability of well-equipped schools, well-prepared mentors, effective links between college or university and the schools. All students are expected to provide all learners, irrespective of their social, cultural, linguistic and ethnic background, with the opportunity to acquire knowledge, skills, values and attitudes that would enable them to progress through school and contribute meaningfully to their society. The 4 pillars of the curriculum framework. Expectations from student teachers. Student teachers who go through the supported teaching are expected to impact on the progress and learning of pupils, exhibit sound content, pedagogical and curricular knowledge to be able to teach the school curriculum. Draw on the social and cultural contexts of the learner to scaffold their learning, to make teaching relevant. Take decisions in the classroom that are influenced by sound philosophies of teaching and learning. Have appropriate values and attitudes towards teaching and learning. Cross-cutting issues. Teacher education systems face challenges in adequately preparing teachers for the current global realities brought about by the rapid pace of economic, social, technological, and environmental challenges. There is a debate on how these challenges can be overcome. Traditional approaches to teaching and learning that put subject content in silos are being challenged by modern approaches that enable the student teachers to create a more holistic and integrative environment, one that aids them to become more productive. A number of cross-cutting issues have been identified to provide a holistic approach to teacher education and development. These are equity and inclusivity, professional attitudes and values, core or transversal skills, assessment strategies, action research and reflection. These issues underpin the 4 pillars: subject and curriculum knowledge, literacy studies in Ghanaian and English languages, pedagogical knowledge, and supported teaching. They are introduced through pedagogical knowledge and support the development of understanding in the other pillars where they must be explicitly addressed. Cross-cutting issues. The teacher education curriculum will need to give much emphasis to these cross-cutting issues. For example, student teachers will be expected to learn how to integrate core and transferable skills in teaching the content of the different subjects in pedagogical approaches used in the classroom and during supported student practicum. The cross-cutting issues in this framework are professional values and attitudes, equity and inclusivity, assessment strategies, core and transferable skills, ICT, other issues, specialism, assessing student teachers, CPD and quality assurance strategy. New primary school curriculum and new TED curriculum. Under the new curriculum, the following important features must be noted. At kilograms, the number of learning areas is to be reduced from 7 to 4, which are integrated into themes. However, these will be treated with more depth. At lower and upper primary, the number of subjects remains the same. However, there will be fewer concepts and more in-depth treatment of concept in each subject. Further, there is greater emphasis on literacy and numeracy. Introduction of standards-based curriculum. This means that at every stage in school, a student is expected to demonstrate an understanding and mastery of knowledge and skills that they are expected to learn as they progress through their education. New primary school curriculum and new TED curriculum. There will be national assessments at P2, P4 and P6 to ensure that children's performance is being tracked. History of Ghana will be compulsory for each child from P1 to P6. RME will be a standalone subject. PE will be a standalone subject and will be taught practically. French will be introduced at upper primary. The new curriculum covers the following areas: mathematics, English, science, French, computing, history, our world, our people, Ghanaian language, creative arts, RME, physical education. Thank you for making it to this far in today's episode of content. I hope you found it informative and engaging. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and leaving a comment below to let me know what topics you would like to see covered in future videos. As always, your feedback is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.